Chuông chuông bay thấp thì mưa, bay cao thì nắng, bay vừa thì trăng.
Nguyen is one of Vietnam's most influential contemporary multimedia artists. His work focuses a lot on war, memory, migration, and the way media shapes how we understand history. He works with photography, video installation, and especially known for his photo weaving technique, where images are literally woven together. Through this process, he looks at how visual culture can reconstruct and sometimes distort the public memory. Le's artistic practice is deeply connected to his own life. He was a refugee during the Vietnam War, and that experience plays a huge role in how he approaches history and storytelling. By layering and fragmenting images, he challenges his viewers to think more critically about what they've been shown and what might be missing. This video essay explored Nguyen Le's background, highlight some of his major works, and look at how his practice contribute to new media art.
Nguyen Le was born in 1968 in Ha Tien, a town in southern Vietnam near the Cambodian border. His childhood was shaped by war and political conflict. In 1978, when tension between Vietnam and Cambodia escalated and the Khmer Rouge began attacking border areas, Le and his family were forced to flee their home. They first lived in refugee camps in Thailand before eventually immigrating to the United States, where he grew up in Los Angeles with his mother and siblings. Le later studied photography and fine arts, earning a Bachelor of Fine Arts from the University of California, Santa Barbara in 1989, and a Master of Fine Arts from the School of Visual Arts in New York in 1992. Despite being raised in the United States, he returned to Vietnam in the mid-1990s and settled in Ho Chi Minh City, where he became deeply involved in developing Vietnam's contemporary art scenes.
One of Nguyen Le's most well-known works is untitled Persistent of Memory No. 7. Made between 2000 and 2001, it's a part of his Persistent of Memory series, where he looks at how past events, especially war, continue to shape how people understand themselves and the world around them. This piece uses Le's signature photo weaving technique. At first glance, you just see a dense, layered surface made up of woven strips of photographs. But the longer you look, the more detail starts to emerge. In the background, there are figures lying on the ground who appeared wounded or completely exhausted. Quietly, as your eyes move across the surface, cross-shaped patterns slowly come together to form a face of a young man. What's interesting is that the face isn't immediately clear. You have to move around the artwork and fully recognize it. Through this work, Le suggests that Vietnam War doesn't just live in history books or archives. It still exists in personal and collective memory.
Another important work is Untitled 9 from the series From Vietnam to Hollywood, created in 2004. In Untitled 9, Le again used photo weaving to combine multiple visual sources. The composition merges images of soldier, war scenes, and cinematic references. By weaving together real war photographs with film stills, Le blurs the boundary between historical reality and fictional storytelling. This work raised critical questions about authorship and representation. By physically weaving these conflicting images together, Le exposes how mass media can reshape history and influence collective memory. The artwork encouraged viewers to question which narrative are considered officially history and whose voice remain marginalized.
The Farmers and the Helicopters, created in 2006, is a multi-channel video installation that blends documentary storytelling with sculptural elements. The work brings together interviews with Vietnamese farmers and footage taken from the Hollywood war films. At the center of the installation is the helicopter built from scrapped materials by Vietnamese farmers and mechanics.
Chạy trong máu, chạy trong tim từ nhỏ đến lớn, từ nhỏ tới lớn, cái hạ bộ đỉnh cao của tôi là máy bay trực thăng. Bởi vì tôi nghĩ rằng ở trên thế giới người ta làm được thì mình làm được. Thì chính phủ Việt Nam lúc đó kêu gọi nhà phát triển khoa học thực, người làm khoa học thực. Tôi nghĩ rằng cái đây là cái thời cơ của những người tiềm tàng về khoa học thực đã tới.
It represents both a desire for technology and progress, and the lasting presence of war imagery in everyday life. Even years later, the helicopter remains a strong visual reminder of the war's impact on Vietnamese society. Over time, helicopters also turn into iconic images, especially through their repeated appearance in American war movies. The work highlights the gap between lived experience and dramatized representations of war, revealing how memory is shaped and sometimes distorted through repeated images and storytelling.
As an object of hope, of resilience, of kind of the idea of beauty, you can take control of this history and change it to your will, and rather allow it to take control of you.
Crossing the Father Shore, created in 2014, explored themes of migration, displacement, and survival. The installation depicts images of crowded boats carrying refugees traveling across dark waters. The imagery reflects not only Vietnamese refugee history, but also broader global migration crisis. The figures in the artwork appear densely packed and fragile, emphasizing vulnerability and uncertainty. The installation suggests that displacement is not only a physical journal, but also an emotional and physiology experiences. By presenting migration as a collective human struggle, Le connects Vietnamese history to contemporary global realities. This work demonstrates how Le used visual storytelling to explore memory beyond national boundaries, encouraging audience to reflect on shared human experience of loss, movement, and hope.
As we've mentioned before, Dinh Quy Le is especially known for his photo weaving technique, which is inspired by the traditional Vietnamese grass mat weaving. He cuts photographs into thin strips and weaves them together, creating layered images that feels almost textured rather than flat. The weaving visually mirrors the way memory is built through overlapping stories, cultural influences, and medium images. By reusing and remixing images, his work connects strongly with new media art, where meaning comes from repetition, manipulation, and reframing rather than direct documentation. Through this approach, Le connected traditional craft with contemporary media culture, creating a conversation between analog techniques and the logic of digital imagery.
By weaving together personal memory, national history, and global media imagery, Le challenges viewers to reconsider how history is constructed and remembered. Through his innovative blending of traditional craft and new media concepts, Dinh Quy Le continues to influence contemporary art and expand conversation about identity, migration, and historical truth. Our group chose Dinh Quy Le not only because of his importance in new media and contemporary art, but also because he is a Vietnamese artist whose work deeply connects with our own cultural background. As a Vietnamese students, we felt personally connected to how Le explored themes of war, displacement, memory, and identity. His ability to combine Vietnamese cultural tradition with modern media techniques reflect the experience of navigating between cultures, which resonate with many of us studying and living abroad. By studying Dinh Quy Le work, we're not only learning about new media art, but also gaining a deeper understanding of how art can preserve cultural identity while opening conversations across global perspective.
Bây giờ thì